Am I audible? Can I be heard?
Yes, you can.
Okay. You're welcome, Ms. Samari. Samari is going to be our guest speaker today. We are very glad to have you on board. Oh, you're on mute. Sorry, you couldn't hear that. You're on mute. We can't hear you.
No, I was actually just testing something here.
Okay. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. I think we can now begin our session while others find us in the middle of the session. I'm going to welcome one of our board members, Ms. Tabitha, to give us a brief about WSIS.
Tabitha, are you there? Can you hear us?
Okay, could someone let me know if I'm audible?
Yes, you are now.
Great. I see feedback from Evelyn. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are all well. We're so excited that you could join us this evening for today's conversation. My name is Tabitha Namone. I am part of the board here at WSIS Uganda, Women in Cybersecurity Uganda. And I'm so glad you could make time out of your busy Wednesday evening to chill with us and listen to the phenomenal speaker we have for you today. So let's see what we have in store for you. So housekeeping rules. Important that you keep your microphone muted, your video off, unless you have been given permission by the hosts. We're going to give you a small brief about women in cybersecurity, WSIS Uganda as well. So you'll get to see what the vision is and buy into the dream that we also have today. And our speaker will then present, we'll have a Q&A, and then we'll have updates on current opportunities for members. And just so you know, we will be giving out a free membership by spinning the wheel this evening. So we can't wait to see who this evening's lucky star is going to be. Right. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I'll stop presenting that and do something better for that. I have a very small presentation around women in cybersecurity, WSIS, for us today, so we can all get to understand what brings us here, or who we are. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, your screen is visible now.
So, can anybody see what I'm presenting?
Yes, we can. Tabitha, we could see your screen, but it's now gone off.
So, thanks for your patience, guys. So we are Women in Cybersecurity, Uganda affiliate. We are part of Women in Cybersecurity, a global nonprofit organization. It has a global reach and is dedicated to bringing together women in cybersecurity from academia, research, and industry to share knowledge, experience, network, and mentor one another, which brings us to who we have today as a guest speaker. The mission of Women in Cybersecurity is to recruit, retrain, and advance women in cybersecurity. Globally, WSIS has incredible community impact. For example, we have 11,000 members globally as women in cybersecurity, spread out in 175 countries as of the year 2025. There are 68 professional affiliates attached to women in cybersecurity and 315 student chapters across the world. Over 123 programs exist through Women in Cybersecurity with over 50,000 participants, 46,000 webinar subscribers, and over 40,000 newsletter subscribers. On the African continent alone, there are 6 affiliates, that being East Africa, Kenya, West Africa, Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and newly Uganda, which was launched earlier this year. So Uganda has over 35 members, and we hope that by the end of the call, we'll have convinced you as to why you should join us today. Subscribe to WSIS and then be part of us. So WSIS Global alone has 117,000 followers on LinkedIn, over 25,000 followers on Twitter, 7,000 followers on Facebook, and over 13,000 followers on Instagram, and 2,000 on YouTube. So what you ask yourself, why do we need WSIS? What's the point of WSIS? So the data doesn't lie. With WSIS members show a 10% performance edge, scoring above average across 16 out of 20 NICE framework specialty areas. And there is a lower attrition rate with WSIS members from organizations, which gives employers a measurable retention advantage in the hiring process. So there's a lot for you to explore if you join us as a WSIS member that will make you very valuable to your team and highly unlikely for you to quit your job or resign from your job. Even for employers, they're given confidence when they have a member from Women in Cybersecurity on their team. WSIS members show 20% higher critical thinking performance and stronger cyber warfare and penetration testing skills. These are results from Haystack, which is one of the partners of Women in Cybersecurity. For members who are already part of Women in WSIS, you recently took the Haystack test, and this is how this has been measured. And WSIS members are employed at strategic partner organization, reaching 64% higher levels of satisfactions than those at non-partner organizations. So I'm happy to share who the members of the team are. They are on the call this evening. You'll get to interact with them as we go on. Our president, Diana Tukundane, Pauline Kire, the Vice President, our Secretaries, Elizabeth Lusinje, our Director, Agnes Twesime, our Treasurer, Emily May Mara, and our Membership Coordinator, Famia Spaguma, and lastly, myself, Tabitha Namwone, who really handles the social media. Every funny little graphic you've seen, or all the posts you see on Instagram or everywhere, I work with the team to make sure that these happen. So, Women in Cybersecurity Uganda is here for you to see you thrive, and we would love for you to start your cybersecurity journey with us. So, as I've already mentioned, we recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity. You can call or WhatsApp us on the following numbers, or you can email us at ugandaaffiliate@wisis.org. We also have a form we're going to share in the chat for you to be able to fill in so we can follow up with you in case you don't feel like calling or WhatsApping us. So we're also going to share this link in the chat for you to be able to, directly sign up or check out the offerings that WSIS offers globally and how you can tap into these opportunities, especially at this point in your career, for you to see the essence of this community in your life. We also give you membership badges for you to be able to share on LinkedIn and on different social media, where you can be able to share with people that you're proud to be a member of the WSIS Uganda affiliate. All right. So, without wasting much time, I'm going to introduce today's speaker. I just need to know whether, Samari, you are ready for us before I jump into the beautiful introduction. All right. So today we're joined by a phenomenal woman who I believe everybody ought to know and ought to learn from. I see she's here on the call with us. Can't wait. So our speaker today, ladies and gentlemen, is a person called Samari Kachiwale. She's the Deputy Director and Head of Information Security and Business Continuity at Bank of Uganda. She is a cybersecurity strategist with a regulator's eye and a warrior's mindset. She's a part boardroom tactician, part battlefield commander. She has worked across 5 banks and now leads the information security and business continuity function at the Bank of Uganda, where cyber risk meets policy enforcement. Beyond protecting systems, she shapes national resilience, mentors future defenders, and serves on the ISACA Kampala chapter board, driving the elevation of CISO governance to the highest levels of leadership. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Samari Kashibale. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Tabitha, and thank you, the team from WSIS. Allow me to share our presentation for today.
Do you have the sharing option enabled?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool.
I do have it. Okay, just let me know if you're able. So what can you see? Are you able to see?
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's amazing. So good evening, everyone. Good evening, the leadership team at WSIS. It's such an exciting moment for me to share this transition journey. It was a very amazing topic when I saw it, because most of the times we talk about how to secure your network, how to strengthen your defenses, the trends that are happening in cyber, but not so much is given to empowering and sharing a personal story on how one can transition into a certain career path. So actually, I was very excited to discuss this topic. So thank you so much to the president, Ms. Diana. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you, team, for having me. And thank you. I really also thank God for this opportunity to be here. So we'll get right into it. So my name, I told you my name. This topic is really close to my heart, transitioning into cybersecurity. So many of you here today know me as the Deputy Director and Head of Information Security and Business Continuity at Bank of Uganda, leading the national cyber resilience journey and all that. But my journey really did not start here. So I started really small. So neither did it start with being a grand hacker, say that I went some hackathon and I won some, and then I came out huge, or being so great at security tools. No. It began from a very different place. I began as a systems analyst at Data Care Uganda Limited. My work basically involved troubleshooting systems, analyzing behavior of data, supporting users, documenting existing issues. So even when, even though really my title had nothing to do with cybersecurity in those days, very many years ago, those experiences quietly built the foundation for everything that would later form what I am today. So as I've moved through various different organizations, I naturally gravitated towards work that required structure, risk awareness, clarity, and systems thinking. So over time, my career has expanded across, like we've had 5 financial institutions, and I've taken on very many roles, really. So along my journey, I've deliberately pursued certifications that align me to where I want to be. I have pursued the Certified Information Systems Auditor, Certified Information Security Manager, the CEH, the CDIPSI, and a Master's in Cybersecurity. So each and every step that I have taken has given me deeper insight into how the different facets of cybersecurity integrate and interact with one another. So today, that journey that has led me where I am today. So is what I want to share with us today. So you don't have to start in cyber to become a leader in this space. As many of us have, we started off on a completely different tangent, but every step has been a building block. So what are some of the key turning points for me, the things that clicked it for me to be where I am today? So when I really look back, there were several pivotal moments for me and specific turning points that shifted my career from general systems work into full cybersecurity leadership. So my first turning point was realizing that many technical issues I was troubleshooting were not weren't that technical anyway at all. They were control failures, they were process weaknesses, risk-related issues. So this naturally nudged me into a certain way of thinking and looking at things a certain way. So the second turning point came with an opportunity to join a company that came into Uganda during those days. Apart from the big four, it was very rare to hear about another company that was doing cybersecurity. So a company called Security Solutions joined our market, and they were looking for young talents. I was very lucky and blessed to join them, and that is where I got my exposure actually in cybersecurity, information security, digital forensics, business continuity. So for the first time, I was immersed in real-time risk assessments, forensic investigations, hands-on security control work. So this was about a year or about 2 years after my university. So it was quite early on. So this really gave me such a comfortable space. I realized I really loved cybersecurity. Then my third turning point really was investing in the right education to ensure that I was prepared. So I gave my best shot. I took on the CISA to master my assurance role. I took on the information security manager in order to hone my leadership skill. The certified ethical hacker gave me the technical capability and soundness that I needed to use to lead anybody and speak with authority on the subject matter. Of course, the masters also tied it all up together. So my other turning point was realizing that cybersecurity combined all my natural strengths, be it analysis, be it writing, communication, strategic thinking, and the ability to connect with people, processes, and technology. So each turning point added a new layer of clarity, confidence, and competence, and ultimately it positioned me to take a national cybersecurity responsibility right where I am. What am I trying to say in all this? Is that your career will be shaped by moments of clarity, moments of opportunity, where you're supposed to show up and be courageous, moments where you're supposed to be curious about something, moments of reinventing yourself. So pay attention to each and every nudge that comes along your journey, because they often point you to the next level that you're going to. So I would like us to understand the cybersecurity landscape. What is in there? When we hear the word cybersecurity, it sounds like some big domain out there, some big giant career that somebody can't place a finger on. What exactly are you talking about? So it has very many facets, really, that we can interest ourselves in. So, and the beauty of this field is that we have very many entry points, and some of them don't really require deep knowledge of IT and coding and all that kind of thing. So, for example, very many people who are leading, by the way, governance, risk and compliance, policy formulation, privacy, business continuity, most of them come from non-technical backgrounds. So people often think that cybersecurity is just about hacking. It's about running a huge cybersecurity operations center, but it's an entire ecosystem. So we have quite a number of domains in here. Indeed, we have the security operations center that takes the hugest chunk. We have governance, risk, and compliance. That's where you find audit, your risk departments, your assurance departments. You have the digital forensics that will do your investigations and that kind of thing. You have identity and access management. You have your cloud security, Amazon, and all that. That is also another niche that is really trending and highly valued. And we also have incident response. We have threat intelligence, which ties in with the SOC somehow, somewhere, business continuity, and really the other stuff of architecture and secure engineering. So what really I want us to know is that you can start where you feel your strengths are. So if you're strong in writing and analysis, you can start in governance, risk, and compliance. If you enjoy solving puzzles, endless puzzles, you can go into the security operations, you can go into forensics, you really want to find out what happened. So people with IT backgrounds usually tend to excel in cloud security, identity access management. So these fields, they need a diversity of skills, just not one stereotype. So we have many entry points, and not all of them are for the technical people. So we talk about entry. When you want to join the field, where do you start from? For those of us that are out there, we don't know where to start from. How do you join the space? There are a number of ways you can start. So some of the examples that are ideal for people who are transitioning, we have a SOC analyst. It's very common. Some of it may not come out titled SOC analyst, but when you look at the JD and the things that you're supposed to do, you'll find that your daily role is about identifying all these threats that come in and mapping them to certain behaviors and trends and triggers. Then, like I mentioned, many people start in IT risk. Others go to security awareness. There's a lot of work to do in awareness because, the human is the weakest link. You're as strong as your weakest link. So without humans, we wouldn't have an issue with technology, by the way, because at the end of it all, there's a person somewhere who did not do what they were supposed to do. So awareness is big, Then there's vulnerability analysis, again, governance, risk, and compliance, business continuity. I've actually seen some people start from accounting and they've transitioned. I've seen others start from engineering, from statistics, and they transition into cybersecurity. And really what makes you succeed, no matter where you start from, is that you have to be disciplined. They were disciplined, they paid attention to detail, and were willing to learn. So don't box yourself into a certain mindset. So your entry role is simply a foundation. So when you start at a certain in a certain position, don't stay there. Be open-minded to transition to wherever you are nudged to transition to. So so before you study anything new, you need to ask yourself, what skills do I already have that cybersecurity needs? What can I leverage on? What am I gifted with that I can leverage as I get into this career space of cybersecurity? We have quite a number of things. You can be a very good analyst. You're good at solving problems. You can be good at documentation and writing. You can be very good at communication, because we have a big challenge. When technical people, we have very good technical people, they are sound, but they don't know how to communicate. And that's one of the biggest challenges to growth, in fact. So you find you're very technical, you're very good, you sit behind your keyboard and do miracles and magic. But when it's time to translate what you're doing to your CEO, you're not able to say anything. And that is usually a bottleneck for us. So cybersecurity is not only about tools, it's about understanding the systems. It's about understanding behavior and the risks involved. Because at the end of the day, the business is here to make money. That is all they want to know. They don't want to hear about your what, my tool. Really, that's none of their business. So what you must learn is to communicate the risk that is at hand. What is the risk that is going to stop them from achieving that bottom line that they want to achieve? So many people overlook the fact that soft skills are what accelerate career growth, especially the leadership roles. So the most successful cyber professionals bring a blend of technical understanding and communication strength. So those are two areas you have to work at balancing. So your learning path should start with foundations. Really, let's see, you want to now learn. So start with foundations. Don't look at the fancy certification, the CEH, the what. If you can, well and good. But if you can't, because sometimes it costs also a lot of money and they require so much. So depending on where you are, start with the basics. I also did the same. I remember even before I did the first major certification, there's so many things I did. Those days it was Cisco, it was CCNA. I never really got a formal certification, but I did very many little courses here and there, go learn how to do it. So I wasn't, I was not able to have the access to do a proper internationally recognized certification, but I still was making the effort to learn and to evolve. So there are a number of beginner-friendly courses. You have Google Cybersecurity, you have IBM Cybersecurity. You can use the Try Hack Me Labs, Hack the Box. These really give you confidence to upgrade to the next level. So now you can move into certifications like Security++, the ISC2. You can now graduate to your intermediate level where you have the CISA, the CSIMS, the CEH, and now you can get to the advanced, the CISP, the ISO, and many others. Of course, usually the CISA is to help you with audit and governance if you want to transition into that arm of assurance. The CSIM is about leadership and management. The Certified Ethical Hacker is very technical and gives a very good background for you to shine in offensive security. And then you have the CISSP for broad architecture and leadership. So don't rush it. Take your time. Explore all the beginner-friendly courses that you can find and see where you feel very comfortable and excited to be. And remember that certifications, they are tools. They are not necessarily your identity. Your identity is what you are able to deliver. These are just tools to get you there. So how do you gain practical experience when you don't have the job to gain the experience? So experience is the biggest concern for beginners. We all know that. But again, practical experience doesn't only come from a job. There are many ways you can support yourself. You can start a lab on your own. Recently, I met somebody who wanted support. They wanted to go and study data analytics. There's something they wanted to study. And my first question to them was, so you want to go and study data analytics, but have you tried any free course on data analytics? They said no. Have you tried to interest yourself on any, because the internet is full of content before we can even start paying money for you to be told, have you interested yourself? Have you gone to say, let me look for Python classes, because they are all over. Have you interested? And no. And really what I could tell was this person wasn't interested. They were maybe just bored and they wanted to try something that maybe they thought could crack the deal for them and get them something to do, but it wasn't an area of interest, because usually most of these built cybersecurity experts, I can tell you, they are self-made. Leave the certifications alone. The certifications come later. By the time he or she is certifying, they have already put in the work. They have done. I have a colleague of mine who runs a cybersecurity company. It's very big in Africa. And he was telling me how he used to come to Kampala in, I think, early 2000s or something like that, and used to meet a certain man who was running Hack Me for Girls. It was in Ginger. He was running a drive, Hack Me for Charity. He would come from Kenya on a bus. He was on campus, use his money, pocket money, come on a bus. His parents wouldn't know where he is, and he's looking for this guy of Hack for Charity. So you can imagine, he read all his books. He put in all the work. So it has nothing to do with the resources that you think it does. It has much, much more to do with personal drive. Then volunteer at different places. Volunteer at we have ISACA, now we have WISIS, we have university events, find internships to do, offer support to small organizations that need them. Very many times I support small organizations, by the way, for free. I'll say, well, we need an IT policy. I'll say, fine, I'll design one for you for free. But I'm gaining experience. So by the time I'm designing a policy for the Central Bank of Uganda, I have been through a iteration of policies that I've made all over the place, and I have an idea what I'm doing, you know. So analyze information online, look at reports. There are those annual reports that come up, you know. Kaspersky makes for us an annual report of 2025. Look at that report, analyze it, study it, draw lessons, share those lessons, participate, you know, create a portfolio of who you are. And I tell you, if you do this consistently, you will have more practical material in your portfolio than some people with a full-time jobs. Because one thing is very clear, employers admire initiative. There's nothing that drives, makes your employer happy as a team member who has initiative. You would just love those people. So there's a lot you can do with yourself, even if you don't have the platform, quote unquote. How else can you grow in this sector, in this niche of ours? Of course, we have community, networks, mentorship. So cybersecurity really is a community, as you have just mentioned in your introduction slide. It's a community-driven field. You grow faster when you plug into the networks like this one. You have ISACA, we have ISC, and other local communities and international communities. So plug in there. I see a lot of opportunities coming up because I'm plugged into a certain community, because I participate in a certain community. So when somebody is looking for someone to do something, be like, oh, by the way, I know Diana can do it. I know Tabitha can do it, just because you are in a community that does what you do. Then you need to own your journey. What I mean by this is that, for example, my journey was shaped significantly by mentorship, both giving and receiving it. Joining ISACA, founding Shields Tech Uganda, mentoring young women, these created opportunities that I really never imagined. So when you show up consistently in your community, people begin to recognize you. You cannot be ignored. You cannot, I mean, like the Bible even says, if when a candle is when you put it on a candle stand for the world to see, you cannot put a basket over it. It has to be seen, it has to shine. So you will be recognized for your passion, and the opportunities that you will have will be immense. Take up speaking opportunities, writing opportunities like this one that I was given. I was very happy to share my story and to take it up. Take them up, talk to people, write. You have LinkedIn, write something, you know. But if I go to your Twitter, your X, for those that are on X, and I find, I don't know, you know, what you're telling us. Yeah, I know there's a space for your personal life and all that, but if you really are serious about where you want to be, if you want us to know that you're a travel blogger, fine, we shall follow you in that line. But now if you come to tell us about cybersecurity, we will not be looking at you like that. We will know, this one loves to travel. Even if you're good at cyber, it will take long for you to convince us. But if I can go to your handles and I'm seeing a trend, it will be very easy. I'll be like, yeah, this person really, they know what they're doing. Okay. So of course, transitioning came with its challenges. I cannot say that it was a walk in the park for me, and neither can any of us who have made it where we are. You can ask Diana. It has a challenge. It has challenges that it comes with. It is very exciting, but many people underestimate it. So the first challenge really is the imposter syndrome. What do we mean by that? So when you're new, you constantly feel like you don't know enough, or that everyone else is smarter. Or and I was also experienced this myself. Even after earning all these certifications, sometimes you're like, but man, am I good enough? You know, when they bring, for example, a company to come and do penetration testing, and they pick things that you've never said, you're like, I thought I was the person, but yeah. So imposter syndrome doesn't disappear. You simply learn to move forward, you know, despite what it is. So it should not keep you down. It should not keep you down. The second challenge is feeling that you're not taken for enough, related to imposter syndrome. So people assume that cybersecurity is only for those deep technical guys, people who only speak Python, who speak R, but not really. It has many layers, like we have mentioned. Some are strategy, some are governance, some innovation related. For example, if your company is putting up an innovation arm, you need to make sure that you have secure development, so you can also shine in that area. Communication, culture. So there's room for every skill set. What matters is that you grow, not that you need to be perfect at what you're doing. The third challenge is the trap of over-certification without competence. This is personal. Everybody has why they do what they do. But for me, I always ask myself a question. When I meet a CV that has a collection of certifications from all over, yes, I know we are trying to be broad and all that, but you know, you have IT, you have IT certifications, you have legal certifications, you have procurement certifications, you have even maybe you have medical certifications. So I really wonder, you cannot be a master of all. You cannot be a master of all. So also be very strategic on how you acquire certifications. So some transitioning professionals, what they do, they acquire a myriad of certifications, hoping they'll magically open a door for you. But employers, they look for applied thinking, not just acronyms. It's better to master a few skills deeply than to accumulate 10 certificates you cannot defend in an interview. Myself, my first serious internationally recognized certification was the CISA. And it took me, let me see, 20, don't count my age, 20, let's see, 2012, 2013, until maybe 20, I think like 2020. So you can imagine it took me long to get another certification. And I had not a day did I not grow. I went from one level to another, with just one certification like this and my degree. Of course, there are things here and there that you would learn, but they are not like you cannot really speak for them authoritatively. It's like, yeah, I have learned something on this and that, but they are not recognized. They don't speak for you when you're absent. So that's the only thing I had, but it did not stop me from growing. I grew over that period of time. How many years ago? 7 years. Before now, I accumulated the rest. Actually, I used, I think, the next 3 years to add on all the rest. But for the longest time, I only had one. But I was mastering getting the work done. So even when I'll tell you I'm a CISA and I open my mouth, you'd have no choice but to give me the job. So they are good, but they should just come to support what you're able to do. So another major challenge is access to hands-on experience. We have talked about this. I will not get back to it. There's also a challenge of balancing life, job, responsibilities, study. Most people transitioning into cybersecurity are working full-time. Of course, we all are. They're raising families. We all are. The people that you all admire are all raising families. They are studying part-time. So learning in such circumstances requires discipline. You have to be disciplined. You have to focus, you know. So, and you have to have a lot of grace for yourself. So another challenge is the comparison trap. So we see people on LinkedIn getting this, every time I'm happy to announce that I got a CIS, I'm happy to announce that I'm now a CIS, I'm happy to announce, so we see all these people becoming hackers, attending conferences, and it makes us feel like our progress is slow. But cybersecurity is not a marathon. Everyone's path is different, and so is yours, so was mine. Someone will tell you, oh, you have to get this, that, but I've just told you I spent 7 years with one certification. But I moved from glory to glory to glory. I would never say now I want to move and I don't have a job. It would always be there. And I would always get what I want in terms of pay. So do not compare your journey to anybody else. So growth depends on your consistency, not necessarily speed. So you have to find a balance. And then finally, beginners often struggle with finding mentors. So a mentor can shorten your learning curve, which is actually one of the hacks that has worked for me. Finding the right mentors. But it's not always accessible. That's one thing I want us to know. It's not accessible. A good mentor is not accessible, which is one area of weakness I have observed in the younger generation. They don't have the tenacity. They don't have that backbone to invest in a mentor, whatever it takes. Because a good person is not accessible. That's why they are good. They didn't get there by watching Netflix and eating potato chips. They got there because they are hard workers. They are disciplined. They are consistent. They have a schedule. That is how they got where they are. And it has not changed because they reached. In fact, even when they get there, they get more responsibility. So looking for them is also a job on its own. You get a mentor, and getting this person to actually give you attention is a story from another day. But you must know what you want. You must be able to be resilient. You must have initiative. You must, when you find them, also be serious. What is it that you want from them? And then you'll be able to grow. But also, I really thank the team. I thank the board and for putting in place forums like these ones that provide spaces for us where we can meet people, receive guidance, and feel supported. But these are still big spaces. At the end of it all, you will need hand-holding. You'll need somebody to correct you, to tell you that one is not, do it like this, do it like that, do that, do that. And it does not come cheap in all angles and aspects, by the way. So the important thing to remember, these challenges are very normal. You're not the only one facing them. Everyone has faced them. And they are not signs that you don't belong in cybersecurity. They are simply signs that you are growing. Every cybersecurity leader you admire, myself included, has worked through these and many more challenges. I really want to share some of the lessons I've learned from my journey. One, I've learned that reinvention is normal. Don't fear to start. Don't fear to start again. Don't fear to start something new. Consistency is more powerful than the talent that you have. Like I have said, there are very many talented people I've encountered, people that have talent. But because they're not consistent, we call you for a meeting, you show up 30 minutes late. We make an appointment, you don't turn up, you don't tell us why you didn't turn up, and you just call us 5 days later to continue a conversation that we do not know where you ended it from. We tell you, deliver this work for me, I want you to do this for me, can you help me get this done, ABCD, XYZ? You come to me a week later to deliver the work that I asked you to do a week ago. I tell you, quickly, do for me ABCD, I want it in the next 5 minutes, and you tell me, I can't do it. In this world of research, of artificial intelligence, of Google, of people, and you just look at me and tell me, I can't do it. So those are some of the lessons that I have learned, both from myself and from people that I encounter. So technical skills are important, but also remember communication and leadership take you further. I've been in spaces where you have to communicate to board members who do not understand anything about cybersecurity. They don't know what a firewall is. They don't know what your certificate means. They don't know what your protocol is. You're telling them about LDAP. Now, what is LDAP? You're standing before a board member telling him, oh, the LDAP version is insecure. And then, so you must find a way to communicate to these people in a language that understand. And it takes a lot of learning, because one thing that I met that really was a challenge for me was the space was new, hot and hot, and would have to report to people who did not have this background at all. So every time you'd have to write a report in a language that they can understand. You have to rechange everything and write. So when you're working, now you're technical. Now when time to write the report, you first write it in a technical way. Then now you have to rewrite it in a way that your boss can understand. So with time, your boss understands. But now we're taking it to the board that has no clue. Now you have to think about the board also and how you're going to communicate these kinds of things for them. So it was not something that was easy. It took a lot of time, a lot of energy. And like, but now why do we have to report to accountants? But that was the situation that we were in. And we had to be very flexible, willing to learn, willing to listen, and willing to be guided so that we could eventually communicate to these people. And then you should always document your journey, because the time will come and you need to build your portfolio, and all this will feed in. And finally, credibility is built quietly through reliability. Be a reliable person. Make sure that when we say we want this, we will go to Tabitha, and Tabitha will give it to us. When I tell Mara, please deliver, I'm sure I'll go home and sleep because I know Mara will deliver it. So be a very reliable person. So, and then one thing that I want you to know is that your mindset will carry you further than any tool and any certification. So no matter what you do, as long as up here, you're still limited in your thinking, you're still feeling disadvantaged, you're still feeling misaligned. I mean, I could have said, these guys don't understand anything. I can't do this anymore. Let me go and be an accountant. I mean, where would Bank of Uganda be today without me? Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just no pun intended. So I could have said, these guys are feeling bad. Let me just go and do accounting. But I stuck to my course. I learned to adopt. I learned to communicate. I learned to understand what it is that they want so that I can deliver it. And that kind of mindset, that flexibility, adaptability, being agile, it ends up taking you places. But there are some things that really I wish I'd known sooner, and I want to share them with you, by the way, so that you can carry them with you. Number one, cybersecurity is 50% communication. Sincerely, it's 50% communication. That one you should know. It's not all those SQL injections, they bypass lateral movements. No, sorry, you are international community now. I'm speaking another language. So it's 30% patience, like I've mentioned. Many people do not understand you. So imagine 50% of what you do is not understood. You need to be patient to make sure they understand you. And yeah, you need some caffeine to keep you running. So nobody knows everything. Even experts, they Google. Even us, we still Google. We still consult. We still consult who we believe are better than us. We still consult who are even in other domains to see how to relate what we are doing to what, answer the questions that management really wants to know about. And then certifications don't build confidence. No matter how many certifications you have, you cannot be confident unless you're doing the work. We've talked about imposter syndrome. It doesn't really go away. You'll always meet somebody who is better than you. Because imagine you said, now I'm a certified ethical hacker, I can hack. I can do information security. And then some consultant comes and just leaves you naked. And you're like, yeah, but we thought you can do these things, So you just have to learn and to work with it. So also remember that your journey is yours and yours alone. It is unique. Get to know what it is you want in this life. Get to know what God designed you for. What is your purpose? Exactly where are you called to serve? And it will be very easy for you to grow in that space. How do you position yourself in today's world? Opportunities often find you through your digital presence, as we all know right now. Even if I am to know you, I may not know you because we go to the same gym. Really, when we are at gym, we're talking about other things. You're talking about children. You're talking about business, maybe. But really, you'll be known mostly through your social media presence. Powerful. Utilize it. Optimize your social media handles. Build a narrative, not just a CV. When we say Diana, immediately I think about how secure Stanbic Bank is. Build insights and lessons. Publish insights and lessons. Volunteer whenever you have an opportunity. Be visible as much as you can. There's nobody who's going to make you visible. You must create yourself. Teach others. Teach. Every opportunity that you get, teach others. Speak when invited. Always be ready and willing to teach somebody. How do you, this is still the same. And then how do you stand out? So to stand out, one, you have to be proactive and reliable. There's nothing that beats reliability and consistency. Even if you're really bad at what you do, it's like, they're not good, but I can trust them. I know they will do their best. So be very reliable, be proactive, show initiative. Cybersecurity, like any other career, it rewards people who do not wait to be told what to do. Don't sit and wait to be told, do this, do that. No. So whether it's setting up your own lab, analyzing a recent breach report, and you see how it applies to your environment, drafting a policy, volunteering, and every opportunity received becomes a stepping stone to your next level. Be consistent. Those who grow are those who commit to small, consistent progress. Read, learn, even 20 minutes a day. Be consistent at what you do. You've been known for something, Be a good communicator. Very underestimated skill, but one of the most powerful. That's why you find that there are people who can't deliver, but because they can talk, they are leading you. Why? Because they know how to talk. Yet you're the technical person, and then you start becoming rambling, you start being unhappy, you say, I'm marginalized, I am sidelined, but you simply cannot translate what you're doing. People don't know, people don't understand it, they have no clue. And then there is some smart wire there who can talk and they can't do anything. So connect with technical insights, connect technical insight with business value. Understand what your business wants and how your role can deliver it. Stand out through dependability and professionalism. I have really emphasized that one. Stand out by sharing your journey. You don't have to be an expert. Share insights. Talk about what you are learning, what you're experimenting with, the mistakes that you are making, the wins that you are having. That visibility, it attracts peers, mentors, and opportunities. Many of my speaking engagements originated from simply sharing what I was working on at the time. Because if like the board, some of the board members had never encountered me, they would never look for me if I was somewhere seated behind my keyboard, always typing and securing the firewall, updating. I wouldn't be here today. Yeah. So also stand out through your ethical behavior and integrity. So cybersecurity gives access to sensitive information and powerful tools. Because you work in a commercial bank and you have a bond with somebody and you go and dig up their financial data and you leak it and that kind of thing. Be person of integrity. What really sets you apart is integrity, the ability to handle responsibility with maturity, respect, and accountability. Skills will open the doors for you. That is true. but character will keep you in that room and even take you further. Stand out by being solution oriented. Anyone can point out problems. Everyone is always saying a problem. This is the problem, is the problem. You know, the problem with these people, the problem with this country, the problem with our members, or the problem with this, the problem with our CEO, everybody is talking about a problem, but they never give us solutions. So be a person of solutions. People who stand out, propose solutions, even small ones. Bring options. Tell us, what do you want us to do? How do you want us to improve? How will this improve solve the other problem? This and this and this. Suggest improvements. This usually shows ownership and maturity. So you don't stand out by trying to be perfect, no? You stand out by being consistent, competent, ethical, and intentional. So cybersecurity, like any other field, is a field where your work ethic, your mindset, reliability will take you further than any single certification. So as I conclude, I've said this very many times, you do not have to be perfect. You have to be committed. Remember, you need to outgrow your fears. You are not late. You are not behind. Your background is an asset to you, not a limitation. Use it. There's a reason God placed you where you were. Use it. If you feel led that you know what, I need to move, that is also okay. Cybersecurity is ready for your impact. So step forward and contribute to us in this field. There's room for you, that we all have been at some point. Thank you all for listening to me, and thank you for having me. It's been really exciting to share my journey with you. Thank you so much.
Wow, what a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, Samari. I will now take a few questions from the audience. Kindly allow us a few more minutes of your time. This is almost coming to an end, but I know you're learning so much from this. If you have a question, please raise up your hand. Okay, I have 2 hands up. I think, Susan, your hand has been up the longest. You go first, then we'll have Angela. Susan? Okay, Angela, is your hand still up?
Yes, oh yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Samari, for that inspirational speech. It's not a speech, it was more of like a life journey that really motivated all of us. To me, my key takeaways were consistency, but importantly, communication. As young ladies in, me, I'm in my entry level job. I want to know the hack about communication because, at entry level, we normally struggle with information. Like, I build confidence from how much I know. So how do you effectively communicate with, let me say that if you're a developer and you're working in a circle, you communicate without showing your vulnerabilities to the rest?
You want us to take the questions that one by one, or you want to have all and then we answer them at a go?
Okay, I think you can answer that while the rest put their questions in the chat. I think it will be better that way.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Angela, for that. And I'm happy to hear that you're already at entry level. This will definitely take you places. So one way to communicate is to ask questions, so that you truly understand what the person asking you wants to know. Ask all the questions that you can get, all the clarifications that you need to answer the question. And it's not bad to show your vulnerabilities. You don't need to know everything. If you don't know something, you may not have to say, I don't know that in such, sometimes some things are really too advanced and you may really not know genuinely, but you can say, I am not comfortable with that, but let me read about it and get back to you. Or let me try, let me work on something and then I'll share it with you. You can take a look at it and advise me on how to do better, on how to refine it. So it depends on what, so vulnerability is, it's okay. No one expects you to know everything. Absolutely, nobody. But what we want is initiative and being able to have the mindset to solve a problem and not to create more, you know. So it's okay. Be vulnerable, but be vulnerable with a solution, with a proposal. You say, this one, I think this is new to me. Let me read about it. And then I can come back to you and then you guide me further. There is nobody who will not be willing to help you with such an answer, as opposed to saying, oh, just keeping quiet and struggling for 3 weeks. I'm asking, where is my work? And you're not telling me anything. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mercy, I see your hand is up. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, thank you, Aggie. Thank you, Samali, for this insightful information you shared towards cybersecurity. My questions are two. Yeah, one, I would like to take up a master's in cybersecurity. I would like you to recommend some of the good universities. And secondly, what would you think about someone who has transitioned from the first level of defense, that is security, and then second level, maybe risk, compliance, and audit? Because sometimes making these transitions is like you're learning afresh. And the best thing about it is that when you go for assurance now, it gives you the level of confidence to interact with different stakeholders. So how do you help someone transition into them successfully?
Okay, thank you, Mercy, for those questions. Well, the universities, there are a myriad of universities that offer cybersecurity at master's level. You'll be limited by your budgets. You'll be limited by the offering that they have, because you may want to do online and they only have on-site. You may want a hybrid. You may want to be on-site and you only want online. So I think giving you a list of universities is not really the answer that you seek. First, know what do you want? How do you want to get this master's? What exactly are you looking for? And then we can walk through the journey. Then two, how do you transition? First of all, where is the opportunity? Have you identified an opportunity? Where do you want to go? You want to go into SOC analyst. So what does a SOC analyst do every day from morning to evening? What is their job description? What do they do? What are they looking at? So from when you have that kind of information, then you'll be able to prepare yourself with the right kind of content and awareness and training and consulting the people that are there. So that when the opportunity comes, you know how to answer those questions when you're in that interview. So transitioning is a place of preparation, of making yourself available to learning and being ready for the place that you want to go to. So find out, get a job, the JD of the person of the job that you want to do. What exactly are the deliverables? Can I find some resources online? Can I find a lab that can help me to do this? They are there. You will always find them. So once you know where you want to go, I think the rest is the curiosity. Be curious enough to be driven to find the content that you need, because I can't give you a list of do this, transition like this, transition like that, do that. No, but seek out the knowledge that you want. Where do you want to go? You want to transition from risk and compliance to where? If you want to now become a database administrator, there are so many. There is MySQL, there is Postgres, there is Oracle, there is what. So now, what do you want to master? Do you want to be Oracle? Fine, now you want to be Oracle. So what do I need to be? A DBA for Oracle. What do employers want when they're looking for a DBA or Oracle? And start from there. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. Finally, we're going to take a question from Sheila. The rest you can put your questions in the chat. We have a team on chat that will be able to respond to them.
Thank you very much, Samari. I want to understand. I have a background in computer science, and I'm practicing BizTech. So I want to understand from a point of maybe selling cybersecurity solutions, where is the starting point for me as a beginner or someone that's not oriented with cybersecurity facets that you talked about? Because from your talk, it seems that it's wide. You just discover what your strength can take up. So please guide me on where do I begin from? Yes, thank you very much.
Sheila, you just give me some more insight. So you're in BizTech and you want to sell cybersecurity solutions. Have you built them? What do you mean you want to sell cybersecurity solutions?
There are many vendors that provide cybersecurity solutions, or there are many companies that are already doing that. So if I want to get general understanding of what cybersecurity is all about, for me to practically articulate to the clients I want to sell, what is the best approach to that?
Okay. My recommendation is, what problem do you want to solve? Why are you going to sell a cybersecurity solution? What problem have you identified that the solution you want to sell is going to solve? Or what problem have you identified that you feel that I need to go and shop around for solutions to solve this problem so that I can help people fix this problem? Once you have that answer, it will not be hard for you.
Okay. From my understanding, there's been a lot of threats that and vulnerabilities that come along with cyber attacks. So I would want to imagine that organizations would love solutions that curb that. But I'm green about what cybersecurity is. So where do I start for knowledge? Or what is the easiest way to understand cybersecurity for me to curb all these solutions, given the fact that I already know what I want to solve with that general understanding?
Okay, so first of all, if you're going to come to me to sell me a tool that is going to deal with my threats and my cyber attacks, you are going to have to be good at making sure that these threats, you must know them. You must know the threats that we're talking about. You must know the vectors that these threats use. You must know the environments that these threats thrive on. You must know them. So if you are looking at a tool that is going to, maybe you want to sell a tool for vulnerability assessment, for example, you must know what vulnerabilities are there. So this is a whole mirror. You will need actually very good knowledge. First of all, in IT, what is a server? When I'm telling you that there's this threat that will attack your server, the person I'm going to sell this tool to, because they'll call me tomorrow and the tool is not working. So what will I do? Because now it means you did not develop the tool, unless you're the one who's developing the tool. But if you're going to be a middleman for a tool, then you're going to burn the midnight oil. You're going to learn these things the way they are. You are going to go get the tool that you're interested in, study it, see what it is speaking to, and one thing leads to another. But you'll have to go deep. You'll have to dive deep into whatever it is you want to solve. Because these threats are not to a particular, they are diverse. They use diverse mechanisms, attack vectors. So you will need to actually have solid understanding of the IT environment. And there are quite a number of resources that can help you with that.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry, Shem. Sorry, Lem, but we are running out of time, so we're unable to take any more questions. But you can post your question in the chat, and the team will respond accordingly. So now we're going to appreciate you all for joining us today, and we're going to do that by giving back to you. First of all, I'm going to be sharing with you some opportunities, training programs. Okay. 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 Please confirm that you can all see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
So we have about 4 opportunities for you, and okay, the first one is the Aspiring Professional Mentorship Program. As Samari mentioned, it is really crucial for you to have a mentor while you go through this journey. So WSIS has organized this program for you, and this one is specifically targeting undergraduate students. So if you are a student and you're looking for a mentor, this is for you. And also if you're a professional that is interested in mentoring, this is also for you. I'm going to share the link to the document. I'm going to share the link to the training program so that you see other opportunities that are there in the chat. Okay, so the second opportunity is for this mentorship program, applications are closing on December 17th. So we have about a week before close. So if you're interested, please apply as soon as possible. Then the second opportunity is the CyberCase Tournament 2026. This will be a 3-day virtual event that will run from January 20th to 22nd in 2026. Basically, you're going to have an experience, hands-on experience, testing your skills with the Sun Skills Test. It's a tongue twister. Okay, by Sun Skills Test, by NetForce, and you also have to. Okay, you're going to have 60 hours of access on Rangers.io platform. So you're going to have basically hands-on experience with categories like SIEMs, threat hunting, cyber threat intelligence, Python, Linux. So this is really going to be interesting for you. If you're interested, please apply. Applications for this are going to close December 22nd. The next opportunity is the WSIS Talent Assessment. This one is going to close on 31st December, but the assessment is basically for you to know what are your core strengths and which area in cybersecurity you'd be good at. So if you do not know exactly what your niche should be, this is really one that will point you in the right direction. And application for this is going to be December 31st. Okay, then this is the Vulnerability Disclosure Program. Applications are due June 2026. So about this program, it offers you real-world hands-on training in identifying, reporting, and remediating cybersecurity vulnerabilities using the WSIS website as a live training environment. So it's a really, really good opportunity for you. If you're interested, make sure you apply before June 2026. Okay, that's it. So I've pasted the link to this program in the chat. If you'd like to look at it later and learn more about these opportunities, you can just click on that link. Then the other opportunity is that I have 2 companies that have reached out to me, and they're looking for people interested in, they're looking for workers, cybersecurity people. I'm going to post the emails that you can apply from in the chat. Okay, just a second. So if you're a student or if you're a fresh graduate, at any level of the career you're at, there are opportunities for you. So just reach out to them. Okay, and then the final gift we have for you, we're going to be giving out 2 subscriptions. Sorry, I think I dropped off for a second. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm going to spin this, and if it lands on your name, if you've not yet subscribed this year, this will be your gift to you. Okay, and we have our first winner, Secretary Regan. Are you on call? Regan,
It does.
I have to reserve this for the people that are on call. So if he's not on call, we're going to pass this on to someone else.
Yeah.
Regan, are you?
Not on call.
Okay, let me spin again. Kenneth, are you on call? Kenneth? I don't think he's on call. So let me spin again.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I can tell you. No, Agnes, I think what we'll do, we have that tendency, the people that have attended, can
Yeah.
we promise that we'll create a wheel that only has attendees, and then once it's spin, they will trust us to spin it and then reach out to who the winner will be, since we have really run out of time.
Yeah, I think that's better. We'll do that. Okay. Thank you so much for attending. I hope you learned a lot, and thank you so much, Summary, for that wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, everyone. We've kept you here for longer and would love to end this. Thank you so much. You've really been a good audience.
Thank you for having me. It's been amazing. Thank you all.
Thank you, Samali. We shall be calling you
Thank you,
more
Dad.
often.
Okay. All right. It was very organized.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.